Key elements of a democratic government. Inside the part 1, we had done discussion about the discrimination which occur in South Africa. Now, we are going to discuss about our own country. We know that our country is a democratic country. It means where people elect their leaders to represent them. These representatives take decisions on behalf of the people. I hope the students you remember about the universal adult franchise or universal adult suffrage. It means that where the people above 18 years having the rights to cast their votes, and after casting our votes we used to select our representatives, and that elected representatives used to sit inside the parliament and they take decision on behalf of us, as like there is a limited seat, so all the Indian citizen cannot sit inside it, and that's why we elect our representatives, and that elected people used to sit inside this area for taking our decisions, what the changes we want in our society. So like this the government work. As per this, elected people work for 5 years in our country, and then afterwards again the next election occur, and it used to be changed, as like the last election was on 2014. In then afterwards, when you will count more 5, as like 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19, so the next election was 2019, and again when the next election will be occur, that will be 2024. So like this, with after this 5 years the government change, and these all changes occur due to the people how to whom they are going to elect. So if this government is not responding nicely in this coming session, as like in 2019, 20 and 21, 22, 23, so we having chance to select the another government in the year of 2024. So like this, that the government are answerable to people, so they have to listen whatever the changes we want. Next topic is other ways of participating in our government. There are so many different ways. First ways was for casting votes and select our representatives. Next, another thing, how we can say government that what we want. We used to take rallies for this. We used to do dharnas practices. We used to do the signature work. So these are the different campaign where we show government that what are the changes we want. As like according to your textbook in August 2005, there was a people conflict, or people went against of the government due to the rate of this electricity bill was increased. So finally government have to listen people's point of view, and they finally decrease the amount of electricity bill. So like this the government work. They used to listen point of view about the society point of view, about the people point of view, what the changes they want, and at last they have to listen and they have to work on it, because we all are the people, those who are going to elect the next leader. Not only this much, if there will be any conflict, so mainly the government have to solve this all conflicts, as like you can see inside this diagram, where the police persons are trying to resolve this conflict, trying to stop this fighting. Not only this government are helping for how this is a link between, we can say as like this is the citizen we all, and the another hand side we having here government. So how this government will know that what we want, and how we will know that what government are doing for us or not. So this is the main media who is going to help us, as like internet, radio, magazines, television and newspaper. While with the help of these all things, media is going to help us to understand what are the test steps taken by the government, and we all will get the information that finally what are happening in our country. As like this mass media is the main in, they play a main crucial role in government, includes all the means of communication that bring message to the general people. So like this mass media help us to understand what happening. When we will see the another main people, that as like tribals or women or adivasis, so these all having in a different community where they used to struggle for their rights. As like females, they always struggle while making their community, they used to increase their voice for their demands. as like you can see here, it's mentioned Mahila Hinsa ke khilaf ekjut ho. Like this, they used to bring their different point of view, whatever the problems they face in their society, in their house. They increase problem against of it, that they increase their voice against of it. So like this, government have to take decisions and these problems used to be solved out. As like I hope so students that you remember in the last story where we discussed about that boy who was staying in South Africa. His name was Hector Peterson and he died just in this conflict. So that same way, if we are talking about our own country, in our country we having so many different religions, different cultures, and there is a so many chance of being conflict. So government always try to just resolve this all conflict. There was a main one conflict which occurred between two different states. You can see inside this diagram, one that state which is Karnataka and the another state that was Tamil Nadu. So that we are talking about this Kaveri river, which is showing you with the blue color. So that river which rises in Karnataka and moving towards Tamil Nadu and then merges in Bay of Bengal. So, according to this river, there was a conflict between these two different states, between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, that which state will get how much water. The water stored in Krishna Raja Sagra Dam in Karnataka, used for irrigating a number of districts for completing their needs in Bangalore area. And the another hand side in Tamil Nadu, there is a metro dam which used to help the farmers for growing their crops. So and you can see this diagram as like that water which is used in these two dams different area. So if this area will not remove water towards the different area, so this area will be totally will get very less water, and that's the reason in Tamil Nadu states it's created problem for people for doing in agriculture. So like this, there was a conflict between these two states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. In that case, who will take decision? Central government. So finally, central government solved their problems and they told that how much water Karnataka state will use and how much water Tamil Nadu state will use. So like this conflict was resolved. When we are talking about equality and justice, they both are they these two things everybody want. It is for all. How? As like equality is when each person is seen as equal in the eyes of law. A government that protects human rights makes one set of laws for everyone, not different laws for different people. It might be belongs from any caste, religion, that equality should be there with everyone. I hope the students you remember about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, how he tried to solve the problem of untouchability in our country. That same way, now the government make this new laws as like discrimination is against the law. So the earlier practice of untouchability is now banned by laws. If any person will do that, so they will get punishment according to the law. Next, we know that about social justice is when each person can exercise their rights within a society. So, as like in society, boy and girl are not treated equally, and that's the reason where government are trying to give the same justice to the female. So when you educate a girl, you educate a nation, and that's the reason government made so many different ideas he brought in our society, as like free education for the girls or less fees in colleges. So these type of new ideas brought to educate females also. Thank you.